on, Tom. I don't want to hear shit from Fugly. All right? Don't want to hear anything from Fugly. Don't they? They're always late. I hear the peanut gallery getting ready. Um,
Eric, that needs to be a short now. That whole opening monologue.
oh well, yeah. Watch what you ask for. You never know. Folks, welcome to the Random Party Generator. And for those asking why it isn't like the RPG, because it's RPG because it's the random party. If we put the letters in a different order, it might sound better when we actually spell it out, but not when we abbreviate it. I've had that
That's right.
question. I'm just saying. Just saying. Yes, Don't Catch a Dead Show. I'm Tenkar. This is the Chubby Funster. Oh, I got that right the first time. This is Mr. Rob Conley, Bat in the Attic. And I screwed up that direction. In the corner there, in the corner, is the one and only Tim Shorts, Gothridge Manor. He's got a Patreon. It's been going on for like a decade and a half or something. I mean, I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. All I know is every few months I get something in the mail. And Rachel goes, Is this from Tim? I go, yeah, that's from Tim.
She doesn't know by now, huh?
Yeah. She's just kind of like, oh, I kind of recognize this.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I don't get in trouble when it arrives. Because it doesn't take up a lot of space. It gets filed and it's good. She's laughing in the background. But the big boxes?
Oh, shit.
It's like, where
are we going to put it?
Where are we going to put that? Holy crap.
Special edition, Kickstarter edition. Yeah.
Oh, that's why, like, I went to ShireCon. It took me 2 trips to fill my trunk up with donations.
Oh, geez.
I listen. If I had Kickstarters that I never opened up, were still in the shrink.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh yeah. I didn't even open up. Still in the shrink. I'm like, they're done. And,
I think you have a spending problem, buddy.
No. I have a collecting problem. So now I've changed that. And by the way, yeah. Now the thing I'm waiting for, by the way, is Dolan wood, but it hasn't shown up my house yet because I must be on the end of the.
I was going to say Joe got his, I think, a while ago.
However, I did get this recently. Operation BX.
Oh,
okay. I didn't even see that one before.
Oh yeah,
is that a World War II one?
Yeah, that's a World War II one, but it comes with Into the Dark. This is Jesus Christ. There we go. I got too close. You got undead Nazis. So I'm really interested in seeing how that setting. I might read the setting before I read the rules, but hey, what else is new? Oh my god, the chat's been pretty chatty. Donald Laser, Fugly, Death Angel, Matt Sherman, welcome to all of you. Good to see you. And as an aside, we have a distant chance of hitting 7,000 subscribers tonight.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
We picked up like 27 today. So, very nice. I will blame Joe Block and Joe the Lawyer for that. That's kind of why I'm wearing my D&D shirt to celebrate the beautiness of. Erudite, you should be here. Well, what the hell?
He chose wisely.
He chose why he doesn't want to hang out with us bums. I got you. It's okay. Just so you all know, we're going to be a bit of a hex crawl. Rob has a subject he wants to cover, and I can guarantee you that Greg is going to be counterpointing like an old Sunday morning news show that you used to see when we were kids. You're wrong. You're gonna hear shit like that coming out from somebody. It should be entertaining, but we'll get there. Quick note. Earlier today, WotC officially killed Project Sigil. And if you were like me and you thought it was already killed, apparently they gave it enough rope to kill itself. I'm guessing. I mean, they fired 90% of the programming staff and said we're not going to develop it. But now they said we're not going to develop it and we're going to kill it. So if you're playing on Project Sigil, you have a year to finish your campaign. They're not pulling the plug just yet, but I guess if you find any bugs, they don't want to know because it ain't going to change anything.
A lot of times,
I bet all the
companies will sell
Tailspire
this
people are
stuff.
going, yay.
Yeah. What was that, Greg?
A lot of times these companies will sell like software like that to somebody else who as like, and they'll get reskinned and used in a different thing. So they may have cut the staff down to give the guys time to kind of package it up. You see what I'm saying? Like make it so that it would be something they could hand off, because they do that with video games a lot. Like somebody they'll work on a video game for like 2 or 3 years, and then they'll be like, well, we're not going to develop it in this way, but we're going to keep all the stuff that we made, and then we'll like sell it to somebody else for cheap, and then they could, you know, they could turn it into a different genre of whatever. But like, you know, it was written as like a zombie game originally, and they did all this stuff, and then somebody else picks it up and turns it into, you know, some other kind, you know, anime thing or whatever. But the core structure of the programming is the same. So they just bought it that way.
Well, the thing is, Greg, that Hasbro is not known for doing that. They have a lot of computer games, a lot of failed. I can't think of a single one that they ever did that with, handed off to somebody else. They like to keep their IP in their cold hands.
Well, it's not about the IP. It's just about making sure you get some return on the code.
Oh, you would think, but they don't.
Yeah, well, they didn't. Maybe their new leadership does. Glenn wants to know, is this the second or third time? This is the first time for 5e, and you'd still have the D&D Maps program, which is their very basic VTT. And then, of course, it's the second time they failed if you count the 4e VTT, where they literally stole the graphics from Fantasy Grounds for the dice rolling. Because wouldn't you do the same if you were them? I mean, the programmers in question. I shouldn't say WotC did it. WotC didn't do it. It was the programmers. WotC would sell their staplers and waste baskets for $1. Yeah, maybe. No, Sigil had nothing to do with Planescape. Their Planescape release had nothing to do with Planescape. Their Spelljammer release had nothing to do with Spelljammer. These are just fancy names they get to toss around. Again, we'll see if the new leadership is different than the old leadership or more same. Time will only tell. But
Yeah, I thought, I didn't see who said it, but said Sigil is a ripoff of Tailspire. Yeah, no, Death Angel. Yeah, they started out so behind the curve for Tailspire. And like I said, I bet the Tailspire guys are going, yay!
well, if nothing else, Project Sigil got people to think about what could happen, what a 3D environment for D&D would look like, and probably got some people psyched for it. And now the only game in town is Tailspire. So yeah, they're definitely going. Yeah, and, you know, WotC got people thinking about it. Got eyes on.
They do a really good job of creating business for other companies.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
ISO being, you know, the
oh
big
my god,
winner here, but
they made
so many other companies. Yes, maybe that's actually part of their strategy. Like maybe they take money in for that and then pretend to fail and then pass it on.
I don't know if there's enough money in pretending to fail. I mean, it could be. That sounds like pretending to enjoy having sex.
Maybe not for amateur failures.
Oh, well, these are
professional level failures. Maybe there might be enough money.
Might be.
Well, I don't know. Do you realize, Greg? But Hasbro also has a reputation in regular computer games of failing hard.
Yes. That's why none of us are playing Monopoly on our computer game, list anymore. Nobody's playing Sorry, or is that Milton Bradley? I guess I don't know.
Aren't they all? It's all
owned by the same one now.
It's all Monopoly, right?
Yeah.
Gee, did I say that? That's a bad pun. Somebody forgive me. I know these guys won't.
So
But
can I show somebody something I think that somebody's actually doing right?
yes, you can.
So this is a free demo, folks, of a game called The Secret of Weepstone, and I saw it and I thought, okay, to me the art looks like something out of the fighting fantasy book, out of the UK D&D modules.
You know what? It looks a lot like Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay First Edition. It has that certain feel to it.
Okay, and then it comes in. Okay, we're talking about animated. Looks like we're having animated pictures, which is nicely done. And let's see, can I get through this?
I will say right already, this artwork is better than the Dragonlance artwork that they had showing for the new novels. So I mean, that's already leaps ahead.
Yeah, and it's like wow. I mean, I was impressed with the general feel of the artwork, and the story isn't. The story it's not outstanding, but it's not bad either.
No,
So the land is going to shit.
Sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay.
I mean, the artwork is awesome. I gotta say, but
What's the name of this again?
The Secrets of Weepstone. It's
Okay.
currently a free demo on
Steam.
so I'm just trying to get through this.
oh, they make you go through the whole story before you can.
Well, I didn't save my game, so
Oh, okay. They need that. I hate background stories. Just hit skip. 'Cause
Right.
yeah.
it's like, but you
All right,
won't
we're
have the
almost there.
information that you need. I don't
So
care.
the town is shit, and then now everybody's summoned to the tavern, which is actually kind of cool because you get into the tavern.
Apparently they forgot to light a torch. There we go.
Ah, there we go. See, this would look good on my iPad. I mean, that's where I'd want to be playing this.
So he's talking about they need a party to go to Weepstone Keep, and guess where you get your party? So
Pick the guy with the sign.
Yeah,
okay.
the world's coming to an end.
The end is near.
Oh no, he's unavailable in the demo. Boo.
This is like the old, what was that? The Shady Dragon Inn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick the dwarf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick this guy who's a good fighter. I'm gonna pick her. She's an elf. Pick the kid. He's a good thief. This guy's potentially a magic user of some type. And
It's quite a big party.
I was gonna say, how many people can you pick, Rob? You're gonna kill everybody off?
You need 6 people.
Yeah, he
6.
says it's done. You can click Journey to the Keep.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick her. Oops.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now I can pick Journey to Keep. And now this is cool. They actually have a D&D style module, and they're going into the picture.
Oh, that's you know what? That is that is cool. I got to give them points for that.
And here is where I sat up, and it really caught my attention for 2 reasons. So now, you're trapped in the keep. But get this, it's now 3D. It looks like an illustration.
Right.
But it's not. And if you hit M for the map, you get a blue map to track your progress.
All right, I definitely give them points for that. Holy crap!
Yeah, and then it's a lot like a fighting fantasy book. So I'm going to pick up this lion scepter, put it in the party thing, go over here and read it and use item, and now I can click on it. I'm going to pick this guy. He's the best. And they roll the dice.
Okay, and it's
Wait a
percentile.
minute, do
Again,
they
making
do
me
it?
feel like Warhammer.
It said it was a concealed roll or something like that, Rob.
Yeah. Pull arm. Okay, and then I got myself a healing potion. And then I go over here. The arm's already pulled down, so whatever there, it's gone. And it's already in the down position. So now you can click on this and you can open the door. Now I already been through this, so I'm just going to go to the part where I can show combat. But you can see it's got, you got this first-person view.
I am.
And it's mapping it out.
I'm
Blue book.
impressed with that.
And let's see, get to where the goblin are. This it. So see this is the barrack room. So I can pick up a spear, put it here, and let's see. I'm going to give it to this guy because I kind of know why. You can reach. So it matters. These people can't melee in the back, but they can if they have this spear or if they have a missile weapon. Then you can search sling, pick up. Again, I'm going to go here, replace that because you can't fight with that from the rear. And I search here. That's nothing. And then, oh no, they're goblin. And this is straight out of the Fighting Fantasy book.
Yeah, they definitely look like UK goblins.
And immediately, roll initiative. You get party initiative.
I'm gonna get seasick watching these guys wiggle back and forth. Though. It's like, come on, man, get your sea legs.
All right, so I can click my melee weapon and attack him. I rolled an 18. That's a hit. Oh, 2 points of damage. Didn't take him out. All right, this guy is going to stab him. 6. That's a miss. She's going to attack. That's a hit. And a dead goblin. Now he has a ranged weapon. I'm going to attack there. I believe that's going to be a hit.
I like the fact that they're fake metal dice. That's actually pretty interesting too.
So since I'm in the second rank with the spear, I can still attack with the spear. That's a hit.
Actually, I think I have those metal dice.
So he's dead. And then she can attack. 19. All right, now the goblins get to attack. And they have little BX style cards.
Okay.
Critical miss. Miss.
They roll like you, Tim.
Oh my god.
I was waiting for somebody to mention that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I love the way they spell armor in the British way.
Oh yeah.
That's a hit. Dead. Oh wow. I'm rolling hot compared to the last time.
Well, no, it knows that you're on a live stream and wants to make sure this gets done quickly.
Okay, so yeah, so they want me to use that, so I'll use I'll choose the undamaged one. 5 points of damage. Boom! And the kids
I like
can
this.
hit.
I like Rob's sound effects that he added.
I do too.
Can I get that in my home version?
That's a mod you have to add.
Boom!
And we won the fight.
Victory! Hey, and it's gold for XP.
Yeah.
There you go, folks.
No, I can show you the rest of it, but I think that was people get the general sense.
Yeah,
whether
no,
they,
you know what? Again, if they had that for the iPad, I'd spend $10 for it.
I'll show you the typical Rob move here.
Oh, Joe's happy. It's got a latrine. So.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God!
Joe must have been on the staff.
And it's got flies.
I saw that.
It isn't just a latrine; it's got all the effects.
Yeah. Somebody had to go pretty bad because that back wall has a lot of splash on it.
Okay, so
Oh my
here you
God!
go.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a handprint too. Oh God.
Ew. Where's the spot?
So the kid's gonna climb in, go
Oh,
through
no.
the shit,
Oh.
but it's totally worth it for this one.
You are covered in.
I like how you described this as a Rob move.
Well, not that. That's not the Rob move.
Oh, it went in the toilet.
That is.
Oh no, the kid was poisoned. Pick up.
Ring of
Ring of
regeneration.
Regeneration.
Shit.
Oh, I'll put it in there.
All right, this isn't a Joe the Lawyer campaign, that's for sure. You get a ring of degeneration if you were in Joe's campaign.
And of course, this is the Rob move here. So you go in here, you hear the sound of rushing below, and you climb in.
And you die.
Is there a naiad down here?
No.
Inside joke, folks.
Paul, they receive no reply. He's dead.
Punch
Oh,
70
gee.
yards into a river. I was gonna say, how many people are crawling down that hole? Just one. Just Egbert, huh?
Where's my rope, please?
So anyway, so that is the Weepstone. So it's free on Steam.
Okay. Fuga says it wasn't a Rob move; it was more like a movement. And yeah, being that it was the latrine, I would say it could be
So,
a movement.
I know we're all about the tabletop experience, but I got to admit, after that is a unique game that I haven't run into before.
You know what? I prefer that over an AI DM, which is why Project Sigil didn't hit the mark, because I think they were expecting AI to be there at that point when this thing was releasing, because people were expecting some kind of I don't know, Snoop Dogg being your DM. Oh wait, that was Facebook, right? Didn't Facebook have Snoop Dogg the DM?
No, but I noticed on Amazon Prime they opened up their cloud gaming service, and the highlight game was Snoop Dogg the judge, like in courtroom judge.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that
I
would
didn't
be.
get it myself.
Yeah, no, I don't think I want Snoop to be a judge. I mean, I think he's disqualified for many reasons, not the least of which is a criminal record. But hey, what do I know? Yes, Glenn, latrine squeezins. Yes. So I like the fact
That's my new halfling's name.
latrine squeezins.
Latrine squeezing.
It's not too bad, actually.
Oh God, help me!
Who's the hobgoblin or goblin that ate it to begin with?
Oh.
Did he bite somebody's fingers off or something? And it went down in there with him, I guess, huh?
There's no Fugly, there's no Odiok in this latrine. There's a ring of regeneration in one and instant death in the other, which really
No.
makes it a classic adventure, right?
Here's my question, Rob. How much of this game is going to be randomly generated versus you knew that there was a ring in one and you fell to your death in the other. So I mean, like, is there going to be just an endless amount of randomly generated maps like this, or are they going to be a certain limited number?
Well, I think because of the art aspect, it's going to be a module. So once you play through the module, you know what the deal is. But if they could figure out how to make a randomly generated version of this, I think that would have an audience. I mean, I hope they do well with this. I mean,
from a video game perspective, like industry perspective, like the tech, the only interesting aspect of the tech is the art style.
Right.
I mean, there's people, when Borderlands first came out, people thought the art style was really cool. There's different games that have done it. The Long Dark has this really beautiful painted style. It looks like you're in a painting in a lot of places, that stuff like that. But in terms of the actual game mechanics, I mean, like, a lot of that stuff was in King's Quest, way back in the day. I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm just saying that that's what it is.
According to the Reddit, the guy got on the OSR Reddit, and he's been 2 months ago, that would be August, he said he was working on it for a year. He said, as a lifelong tabletop RPG fan and the biggest fan of OSR art, this is the game I dreamed about making for some time. I wanted to bring to life the bold black and white crosshatch art style of the late 70s and early 80s.
We lost Tim, but we will await his return. Roger says creator mentioned on the Discord that there are 2 more modules planned.
Awesome.
So it won't be a random generated adventure, although there may be, I don't know, random encounters, I would guess, if it's going.
Oh, the replayability is just limited. Like, even in games with totally random generation, it can get boring at a certain point.
But for the right price point, it would be okay. Yeah, as long as he doesn't charge $60 for it, it would be. I mean, if he wanted $25 for this, I would pay that. That would be worth it.
I would want $10 per module. I'm a cheap bastard.
Okay.
Tim says his computer crashed.
Great. Good thing you have your stuff on Google Drive, Tim.
Oh, God. Oh. Mr. Gunn, welcome.
Hello, Mr. Gunn.
Mr. Gunn.
Mr. Gunn. So, what else is going on, gentlemen? This was. I mean, you're blowing up on YouTube, man. You are the tuber right now. So what is your secret? And don't say fiber in your diet, because
I think the biggest secret, and it's not an amazing insight, is actually reading things. I know it's crazy. So, like, what the dungeon analysis videos have been is me opening up a dungeon and saying, like, this is actually what's in this dungeon. Not just I'm flipping through and this is what I think it looks like it might be,
Right.
This is my initial impression. But going through and saying, like, I have had to make this video, I had to read every single page of the Sunless Citadel, and this is exactly what it is. You
got 3,000 views.
Yeah. And so, going through that stuff like that, like, I think people are tired of going and seeing a review that doesn't it just shows them the visual aesthetics of the game. I mean, like my number one criticism of most stuff now is that it looks great, but when you actually play it, it does not work as advertised. You know.
Oh, you got 10,000 views for your Dungeon Design 101.
Yeah. So it's been going good. I'm working on an Alien one. I just released the first one yesterday, and it goes through Destroyer of Worlds, which is a module for Alien, and it's in the top 3 modules of all time for me.
Okay.
But what it is a giant box of Legos, right? There's some instructions, but you have to assemble a huge amount of this on your own, using your own intelligence, right? And so I presented in the video like ways that I think you can make it easier, ways that you can manage it. But it's a huge amount of information. It's a huge amount of stuff to get your head around. And it's very hard to just flip through this in a store and go, oh, okay, this is what it is, right? Like it's we're dealing with very, very complex products, incredible amount of detail. I discovered making part 2 for this Alien thing, a part of the book I didn't even realize was there. I've run it 3 times, right? And there's a little box on one of the pages that says if you capture an insurgent, there's a space Soviet insurgency group in the thing. If you capture one, here are the rules for interrogating him.
Oh.
There's 4 space Soviet insurgents that you could potentially capture, and in none of their descriptions does it say, if you want to interrogate him, check out the rules on page whatever, right? So I went through the whole time thinking none of these guys know where the secret guy's base is because it doesn't say that. They know.
Right.
And then in the little box, it says, well, you can interrogate them and find out where the guy's compound is. And I'm like, okay, like I've been running the module the whole time. I've never done that. So like actually sitting down and running it 3 times, I still didn't read everything apparently that's in this product. You know,
That sounds like a failure of presentation there.
Yeah.
Me.
So my main criticism of it is organization, but I'm very favorable because it is a very complex thing to organize.
Right.
So
yeah, but I mean, when I wrote Scourge of the Demon Wolf, I made sure that there were 2 pages right after the intro, that just literally summarized everything to tell
they
people
have things like that, Rob. I'm saying this is at a complexity level way beyond Scourge of the Demon Wolf. No shade. I liked it.
Okay.
You know, what happens is I described in the thing that there's kind of 4 layers of information. There's information about the location that you're at, which is temporal. So like if you're at the bar at this time in the module, this is what's going on. Later on, the bar gets damaged, things happen, stuff changes. Okay. Then there are people that move around the map as the things going on. So like there's a woman who works for Wayland Yutani named Mrs. Eckford, and she's in like multiple locations and can be moved around however you need her for story narrative purposes, however you want to describe that function. And then there are events for the GM to introduce at certain moments. And then there are enemies, and the data for all those things is scattered in different places. Like there's a section for stuff on how the aliens work, right? But if they're at the bar, you're going to be on the page of the book that is the bar, right? And then you might have an event happen, which is on a different page about an NPC showing up who's on a different page. And then the aliens on yet another page. Like, so you see what I'm saying? Like it's very hard for the GM to keep it all structured, right? So that's my thing is it's really an incredible masterpiece in so many ways, but
I can't tell if you're criticizing. What are you criticizing now?
The structure, how there's ways that I think you can do it better. There's better ways
from
of
what your
organizing
description, right now. Yeah, I agree. There's ways to do better. You need when you have anything that is a sandbox nature, you cannot go overboard on the summaries. Well, maybe you could. Never say never, but you want to be generous with the summaries, and you want to.
I'm not trying to be snarky, Rob. Have you read the module? That's what I'm saying. You haven't, right? I'm not trying to be snarky. You haven't read Destroyer of Worlds, right?
No, but it sounds like I'm going to based
That's-
on your
that's what I'm saying.
commentary. But
So
I've been
how
at this
many
long enough
people?
to hear, but I'm listening to your criticism of it, and if it's a red flag right there that says there's information about that lady, and here, and here, but you didn't know about it until you had to read the whole book through, or three. You read the book 3 times and you still didn't get it.
But my point is, there are people who are just talking all the time about modules,
Right.
never having actually read them. And so I think the reason why my videos are doing so well is because people are going, this guy has actually read the module all the way through, and he is giving me his opinion on it. Whereas somebody who just flipped through it for 10 minutes, or even if you just skimmed it for an hour, like I've spent way more than an hour or 2 hour, 3, like looking at this stuff, right? Going to different pages. Because if you have to load it up in a video the way that I'm doing, you have to read everything that you're putting into the video, right? So that's what I think is the appeal, is that people are kind of tired of the shallowness.
Yeah, superficial.
Well, I got to ask you, what's the statistic that shows you when the person clicks on your video but watches it all the way through?
There's like an average watch length.
Yeah.
Well, what's your average watch length?
Let me pull it up.
Because I'm looking at your videos and they're all long form. All your
Yeah, they're all longer videos.
Yeah,
so
I'm just curious about what your watch lengths are.
Let's take the Dungeon Design 101 one that has about 11,000 views now.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one.
Right. Where is it? Sorry, I'm a novice at this stuff. Average duration is 10 minutes of watching it.
And how long's the video?
33 minutes.
33.
Actually, for a 33-minute video, that's a pretty good retention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a bunch that are just going to click on and click off within the first minute.
And
so yeah.
And there's like a little chart, and it's a very slow drop across the life of the video.
And it'll show you how that video does in relation to your other videos. And you can also check numbers like your click-through rate, so like your impressions, and what percentage of people who see an impression of your video actually click on it. It's a lot of good stuff.
I did want to say to Mr. Gunn, I know that you will enjoy this. In the video that's going to drop next, part 2 of this alien thing, there's a part where I finally figured out how to start using little clips. You got to use like less than 6 seconds, I think, for it to not be a copyright problem. But I found there's a place where I'm like, I don't support space communism. And then I found this clip of this guy talking about how communists will kill your dog. And I put that in there. You got to see it, Mr. Gunn. You will love it, sir. I know you will.
Just for you, sir.
Just for you. It's also a hilarious clip. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that's what it is. People are just tired of getting shallow and superficial opinions about products.
I know I don't read those anymore, because I mean, how many times I don't mind to flip through. Okay, that's fine, but then that seems to be the end of it. It's just the initial, look at the artwork, and that's okay to check out the physical stuff, but that's why I'm kind of doing a little bit more of a long form to too long form of a video. I've been going through that. What is it? The Heroes of the Borderlands, the 5th edition thing, and I didn't think because it's such a small, like the quests are small, but there's so much wrong with them. that they provide almost a lot of content on because when I just don't bitch about stuff. I try to give options of possibly fixing them too, or at least adding to it or whatever. So unfortunately, it made my video a whole hell of a lot longer than I expected it to be. And then Greg said, that's a whole lot of Tim. I can't because I didn't have any graphics to break it up. It's just my face talking to the camera, and I'm like, yeah, that's too much for me too. I don't like it either. So the next one I'll make it try to be broken up a little bit with maps and different things.
It's a lot of work to do all the animations and all the stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I think people don't make it like that. But just showing page after page after page with no highlights, I'm talking about this section right here. I'm talking about this. There's an animation that I have in the part 1 of this alien one. It took a while to build. I'm showing a spread of a page, and I'm highlighting certain parts and summarize. Like I take a whole paragraph and I turn it into like one little short sentence, like the space Soviets are coming. Instead of we don't need a whole paragraph saying space Soviets are coming. It's a short thing, and then I put that all together, and then I create an animation where all the words drift together and then turn into a player handout with just that information. Like that's the core of what you have to tell the players. They don't need to read 1,600 words, right? They need a short thing, and then they can go. And so those animations take a long time to put together, but they look great, and they help convey how it works.
Very good. Greg is our new YouTube savior. I mean, no, I mean, and that's good because you're catching an audience and you're getting something. You found a niche within the tabletop RPG that there was a need, and that's one of the top things about YouTube is finding something that is useful for others. And I've been watching videos on this. You're actually like teaching. It's like almost educational.
Yeah.
But in an entertaining manner.
Well, I bet your day job skills help with that.
That's right. I was a graduate teaching professor for several years. Yeah, like I've done it.
So you've got the experience. You're just carrying it over to YouTube, and of course, folks, Greg does it for the love of because he doesn't want to monetize. I mean, we've been bashing him about that. Unless you've finally done it.
I figure.
What do you mean? Your videos are not monetized?
No, I can turn it on, but I don't see any reason to turn it on and give everybody ads so that I can make an extra 3 cents a week or some shit.
All right.
If it actually would be a significant amount of money, like I'm not there yet by any stretch of the imagination.
They still run ads on your shit, Greg. They still do.
Yeah. I mean, 30. All right. To your biggest video has done how many views?
11,000.
11,000 views. So 1,000 views is probably about $7 to $8. So you're talking about $75 that you would have made on that video.
I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah, that seems high. Yeah.
No, it's about. I'm just going from by 1,000. What I would be looking at. Depending
really, $7 for 1,000 views.
Depending on the video, and depending on, and it's not really by video, it's by the length of them watching. Okay, because you have to remember it's your watch time that determines how many ads are watched, not the actual views. So there's that misnomer that your views are important. No, if you've got longer videos and people are sticking around for 10 minutes as opposed to a shorter video where people are sticking around for 4,
right?
You'll be making more.
Do you know how they do it, Eric? When I'm sure there's a lot of premium members, of course, and premium members don't have to watch videos. So how do they calculate that?
If you look in your earnings, that'll show you what you got from premium viewers, what you got, because they pretty much pay what they would have paid if it was a regular advertiser.
Gotcha. Okay.
So why would somebody not turn on monetization?
Because and it's not that YouTube won't give any commercials because it's YouTube.
Yes.
But it cuts down on the amount of commercials. Now, I've mentioned this before. I don't know when it's going to happen. I am in a YouTube training group from YouTube, and it has been mentioned that there's talk, which doesn't mean crap until it happens, that if you offer channel memberships, at some point they want to turn channel memberships basically into YouTube Premium per channel. In other words, if you're a member, you wouldn't get commercials. I haven't. I've heard it mentioned twice, but I've never seen it confirmed. It's been all like we heard, but so don't bank on it. But to me, I think that would sell. If YouTube was interested in selling memberships, that's a huge sell.
That's not a
I
bad idea.
have YouTube Premium because I have it for me and I have it for Rachel. I have it for my father. I pay the family thing. And the advice I give everybody is if you have an iPad or an iPhone, don't sign up through Apple. Sign up on your desktop, because if you sign up via an app on your phone or on your iPad, you get the Apple tax. And it's like an extra 30% tacked on to it.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. So don't do that.
I hated doing it. I've been opposed to it for a long time, but I have a LLC now that I can put it under as a business expense and run it out. You know,
There you go.
Yeah.
I still don't like it. Yeah, you can tell. I don't like it.
I said fuck it about 8 months ago and bought YouTube Premium.
Yeah, I mean, I probably haven't turned on a streaming service in the last month. Haven't turned on commercial TV. Everything we watch is via YouTube. So for Rach and I, it makes a lot more sense to have the premium.
Yeah,
I use it to run music almost all day.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised the amount of movie they have on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a lot, and I like to watch. Here a little bit like my viewing habits. I watch videos on RPGs from the creators that I follow.
No way.
No way. I watch AI and trainings, YouTube trainings, and I watch a lot of modern current events from all sides, because it's a lot. Getting it from all sides on YouTube is a lot more balanced than getting it from all sides on commercial TV or cable. So
there are no all sides on cable or
no,
TV.
there aren't. So I'd rather I'd rather be surprised and go, holy crap, this person is spewing sense. I didn't expect that, and I enjoy that. Death Angel, honestly, YouTube probably gets more revenue on smaller channels from their cutoff memberships and super chats. Probably. I mean, I gotta say, I do, from sides of my channel, I do pretty well on memberships. I thank all the members. I like to run the member list on the live streams. You guys are great, and the super chats are great. But yeah, YouTube takes a tax from that. That's their business model. YouTube loves memberships. Honestly, that's what when I used to get invites to, like, do you want to beta test this new AI feature on YouTube? We'll tell you how your channel is doing. It's like, yeah, whatever. You're gonna pay me $50 to play with it for 2 weeks, sure. But then I got invited into this program, which initially was about memberships, and now it's about shorts and other trainings, and it's interesting. I'm not an AI meme. No, all the base does not belong to me. But it's interesting to see what YouTube wants to do and where they want to go, because in the end, it's all about making money, right? It's all about what are they going to offer that will let you make more money, because if you make more money, they get a bigger slice, because the pie gets bigger, so that slice is bigger. They're not taking a greater percentage, but they grow the pie, they get more money. Yes, Rod says I have YouTube Premium Family. It's awesome for the music and not having the ads. Although some creators have started inserting their own ads in their video, a lot of them do.
What do you mean? You mean the sponsorships?
Yeah, the sponsorships, and I don't mind when they're talking about their own product. That I expect that, right? And I don't blame them for running their own ads. I
Right.
won't blame them, but for people like like me, Joe the lawyer, and there's a certain authenticity to what we do, and I've had this discussion with others on YouTube. Uh,
Oh, Joe would pimp himself out for $5. What are you talking
he
about?
he he would, but he's not. He'll wait. I think a bit, but I can't. If I'm going to call shit as I see it, I can't be beholden to anybody but my community, which is why I appreciate the membership support because I have, by the way, I'm at the level when somebody offers to sign me up for a sponsorship, it's not dear Eric or dear Mr. Tenkar, it's dear creator. So I am getting hit with the form letters of sponsorships, and it's just like, yeah, no, I don't even.
I gotta admit, when I first started seeing sponsorship appear, and because I read some troubles, the people with who are making a living off their YouTube channel about the perils of the algorithms and how sponsorship really helped even out the income. I
Mm,
thought, okay, that kind of sucks. And if they do them well, the sponsorships well, I can live with that. And this is now they're widespread enough that we see them not done well. And
oh yeah.
but YouTube Premium, I think, allows me to skip the sponsorships.
It does. If the sponsorship kicks in, you can fast forward and it'll take out the most skipped section. And that's a beautiful feature. I
Yeah.
do love it because yeah, it's
Yes, he will. Anything for $1. Yeah. Yeah.
well,
I have something I realized I got in recent days that I would like to show people. So I don't know if people are aware about my black and white maps, but I like to do these old school fills. Like this is jungle, this is tidal flat, this is scrubland, and back in the day, they you would buy what these called dry transfer sheets, and the SPI, Avalon Hill, TSR later on would take an X-Acto knife and uh, cut those, and then they'll peel off the backing and rub it on, and that, and they would take the photograph for the printing press. Well, they stopped distributing these, making these around the year 2000, and there was a brief window of time where you could get a CD with them on, and those disappear. But there's an outfit in the United Kingdom that sells them, and I have been collecting the ones that I have been missing. For example, Tidal Flats. Now this is a mint dry transfer sheet. I have Scrubland, and I have some that I haven't really shown. Like this has been proving handy. Wood grain, really beautiful wood grain pattern there.
Rob, you collect the weirdest shit.
I was gonna say these like Pokemon cards. You send them away to get graded or anything,
You're
Rob?
damn tootin'. I got wooden planks.
I'll give you a wooden plank for scrublands if you've got an extra one.
I got gardens. This is one I've been hunting down for a while. Harden uses these, and I couldn't find an equivalent, but yes, I got garden, and I scan these in and use them. And this is the latest one I got. It's cobblestone.
Mm.
But Tim, I'm also trying to hunt these bad boys. You would appreciate this.
Oh, your tree ones.
The
Yeah,
trees.
the trees.
So I found this one, but the one I'm looking for is the one the Judges Guild used to use, and I haven't had much luck. But yeah, I have like a whole bunch of them now.
All right, folks, you can't make this up. We're actually collecting transfers.
Wow.
There's
What's
no
the
we
problem,
in it. It's just
Eric?
Rob.
You're like giving this whole OSR spiel in a multi-part series of video, and you can't appreciate when somebody really does go old school.
Rob.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can.
I'm trying to recreate the stuff here, the actual. I
All
did.
right, all right. So, Rob, here's my question though. Since you're scanning all this stuff, can you actually sell what you use it on with these scans?
Oh, I own the
It's been doing it for
physical
years.
media.
I've been doing it for years.
I'm just wondering how that copyright works.
I don't know. They don't come with a term of service, Eric. So
All right,
as long
there
as
you
I
go.
don't sell the actual, I only sell it the finished product that uses it.
Okay.
Rather, if I sold a clip art CD of those things, I'm sure I would get busted.
Probably couldn't
But
make T-shirts out of them either, huh, Rob?
yeah, I don't know how many people would buy that, but I do know that. But
I
it
do have
allows
a
me.
question for Tim or Eric about
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
But people
Because-
certainly appreciated this.
Rob's not done. 1 second.
Well, it's
I know.
one more. Oh, okay.
There's a
No,
map
that-
board.
that looks cool, Rob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all these textures, and even I found some low res scan. I was able to make some low res scans of the trees, which produced. So
All right, Greg. What's your question?
All right. So on Monday night's live stream, everybody died except Tim.
No, I
then-
died.
And then he ran through the dungeon
Oh,
in a loop because he couldn't remember which way to go to get out. Now,
No, I
That's
could not.
awesome. That,
now
and-
I
and-
want to clip that specific part, but
Right.
all of the YouTube to MP4 type they'll stop at 90 minutes, but it's a 2.5 hour live stream. So how can I clip just that part where Tim is running in terror?
All right. So it's how long? How long is that clip?
Oh God, what would it be?
Maybe 10 minutes.
I was gonna say, I
Put
think
it
it's
in YouTube.
Then
Go in the studio
yeah.
and use the clip feature if you want. We'll go through it over the weekend.
Oh, okay. I
and-
didn't know that you could do it in YouTube.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. So here's
Yeah,
the thing. So like if I want to clip live streams, most of my live streams, especially on like Wednesday night, I can't shut Mike or anybody up. Okay. It goes on forever, and if it goes longer than 2 hours, I can't upload it to my automatic short maker.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go in, and usually what I do is I clip out the bullshit at the end where Mike talks about his music and Jim talks about his movies. I cut that out, and I have a separate clip.
tell us how you really feel, Eric.
Right. Well, no, they love it, and people love it. I don't want to make that into a short. And then I make that as an unlisted video that I can then upload and clip from. But you can do that. You can clip out just a section that you want.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Right.
I'll walk you through it this weekend.
I'll look in the studio and see if I can figure it out on my own. It's just I tried doing like the downloads thing, but that's just saving it on my like that. I don't need to be connected to the internet to watch it.
Yeah.
So what's the
that's-
story, Tim? Did he use dynamic lighting, and that's what bit you in the ass?
Well, my memory that's bit me in the ass, and then the fact that he did use dynamic lighting, and then also the part I was trying to run back through was something we did the week previous. But it also, everybody else seemed to know where the hell they were going. I was the only one who didn't seem to know.
I thought everybody else
Wait,
did.
wait. You're the Mr. Go Left guy. I mean,
That was my problem.
To be
I kept
fair to
going
Tim,
left.
he did go left every single time. I wasn't putting that together at the time, but he turned left and then left and then left and then left and he came back around.
Yes,
He
that's
went
exactly
in the
what I
same-
did.
He went
Twice,
to the
I
same
think.
room 3 times.
3 times.
Or
Yes.
3 lefts make a right.
Well, the one time I thought I outsmarted him, but what ended up happening is I saw 4 goals, but I didn't see the 5th one.
Well, that's okay. So hold on. If this pulls up, hold on real quick. So if you go into your video and you click on your video, your live stream or whatever,
Yeah.
Go down to where it says clips, and then clips will allow you to pull out a piece.
Okay.
Okay, that's the real. There's a little bit more to it, but that gets you 90% of the way there. You'll be fine because you're one of those young kids. You pick this stuff up real quickly, unlike us older folks that get troubles with this. But yeah, once I found clips, I was like, oh, this is great. I'll just
I didn't even know that was there.
I'll make an hour and 58-minute clip of a 2 hour and 15-minute video.
I gotta say, I'm feeling left out now. I'm the only one in the group that doesn't do YouTube videos anymore.
Well, you said you've been waiting for some
All right.
like second coming or something like that before you're going to make YouTube.
I don't know.
All right,
I think I have I think I thought of a way of doing it that I like. So
By the way,
I
Roger,
will experiment and see how that works out.
If you do a NordVPN ad, you can be a guest on Roger's channel.
You know, I think I missed something vital there. So
No. Greg,
Yeah.
Greg was cracking jokes in the chat about NordVPN,
Oh.
and Roger from CNY is like, "I'll let you do it with NordVPN if you."
Oh yeah, NordVPN ads
Yeah.
are good accessible.
So now, Rob,
I don't
just
even
to let you know.
That means
By the way, Rach will have a channel up and running before the end of the year. Mindfulness and yoga.
her
and
own
stuff.
channel.
So I'm just saying, you don't want my wife beating you to the punch. I mean, come on, you gotta get you up your game, Rob.
Well, I'll see.
You know, Bat in the Attic. You know, on YouTube. You know, join in the fun.
watch me show you my fills.
Well, we're gonna be doing Scarlet Minotaur next week.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
So
about
I'm
that.
gonna be able to just murder them with this Minotaur. He's level 7. He has an axe that does quad damage
Oh wait a second.
on critical hits.
And this is what, ShadowDark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Greg thought since I couldn't even get through a few rooms and navigate them, now he's putting me in a fucking maze.
It's not that from a navigation perspective, Scarlet Minotaur and what we did, the Sunless Fane is my dungeon that we were doing.
Right.
Available on Drive-Thru-RPG.
No.
It is about the same level in terms of getting lost or confused. The main thing with Scarlet Minotaur is that there is a level 7 Minotaur running around killing people, and you are
second
level
level.
2.
Yeah.
So if you make
Just
a
remember your
stand,
training in that city-state neighborhood campaign when you guys managed to beat a full-blown Dracula-style vampire. Remember that, Tim?
Wait, what?
I haven't heard this.
Yeah, I haven't heard the
Hey,
theater.
remember that city-state campaign where everybody played 50-point GURPS characters? And
Oh, you're going way back. Yeah. Well, yeah, we had time to strategize for that one. And this one, I think the Minotaur's randomly determined where it's at. Like you keep rolling, isn't that right, Greg? It's just you keep rolling on a table.
Well, what it is he has a lair, and if you go there, there's a chance that he's there. That I roll when you go through there.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's a random encounter table, and every time we make a check, it's a cumulative penalty that brings your number until he's the lowest result on the table.
Gotcha.
So eventually you'll get him
no matter
and
what.
Wherever he gets moved to, I then have to have him kind of, once he's resolved, he walks back to his lair. But who knows what I'll do? Maybe he'll go on a hunting till he'll start chasing.
Take us out one at a time, huh?
We'll see.
So how many ones?
Greg, just watch out for the blankets.
How many ones does he have to roll? Is there a quota for his ones?
Is there a quota for what?
His ones.
I did good last game, I think.
Tim did pretty good in terms of rolling last time. Yeah.
That's not the Tim that we know.
I'm going to be the one rolling the random encounters, so it's not like it's going to be Tim getting ones.
Oh, well, you actually do random encounters.
Oh, I've been running. If you look, there's 2 episodes that are on my channel and on Erudite's channel and on Tim's channel too. I think.
You know the joke I'm making though, because Joe doesn't do random encounters. Everything is programmed.
Oh yeah, I didn't draw the Joe connection, but
Yeah, no,
no. Where I was going with that is I've been running it as written ShadowDark pretty close, and not Joe the lawyer close with 20 pages of house rules. The only thing that I'm doing.
Oh, wait a minute. He graduated to binders.
That's right. He's writing his own game now.
yes.
The only
Because
thing.
of you. Because
Yeah.
of you, by the way. I want to point that out. It's because of Greg.
Yeah.
I
And
think he's got a picture.
but I made a change to initiative that worked really well. It's been I've been really interested in how ShadowDark initiative affects play, and so it started for me when I ran the 3rd Cursed Scroll, and it's the one where you're Vikings. And I just set up a monastery map, and I had my Saturday night guys just roll up in a longboat and get out, right? And so they're just running around. They made one initiative roll, and then they just acted on initiative the whole time. So you go. It just went right down the string, right down the line. And so it worked so well because they would start to split up, and then one of them would get into trouble, and then they would kind of bunch up again and try to fight that out, and it created this really, really cool dynamic. So with this game that we've been running, Avarice and Ambition, awesome, yes, and but in this game I've been rolling initiative, and this is gonna sound so weird, at the end of combat, right? So you finish the combat and they roll initiative, and that determines how they kind of break away from that combat, right? And then eventually they'll get into, one of them will trigger a monster somewhere, right? One of them will get into a fight. And then other ones will come running to help them. And it'll happen organically, like at normal movement rate. So if you get too far away from Tim and Tim goes around the corner and there's a giant spider, Tim's fighting by himself until you can get over there, right? Yeah. So it evolves naturally that way, and then the combat resolves with the giant spider, and then we roll initiative again.
So and you're encouraging your players to split the party.
That's exactly what it does. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly the way.
But I'll say this, and I'm trying to say this now. I don't want it to come across. I'm not complaining about Ken at all. Ken is normally a guy who's like, I'm going to stay at the back. I'm going to play it cautious. I'm going to do this, right? And he's survivable for that reason, right? Okay. But when it's run like this, he has to go, like it's his init. He has to move. He has to do the thing. And he was getting into combats way more on the, doing it right in the front line than I've ever seen in any time we played before. So it affects people how they play.
Okay.
So I have evidence of Joe's latest RPG.
Whose hand is that?
I think one of the players.
Yeah, one of the players.
Is that his brother?
Might be his brother too. Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you guys think that thickness there? Inch and a half?
For Joe, that's probably just the spells.
No, I think that's just the player. I think he told us that's just the player's handbook.
Well, Joe is so good at teaching people how to play. I'm sure that he will be able to teach people to play this new game, and it will be very successful for him.
Yeah.
I'm confident in his abilities.
I think his game's going to be called Bongs and Bathrooms. I'm not sure.
It would probably be way, way successful if that was the actual name. Compared
probably would be. Endorsed by Cheech and Chong.
It would be Bongs and Bathrooms brought to you by Little Bladders.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not Black Flag versus Tales of the Valiant, but I mean, like,
Oh God!
close. It's close.
I mean,
Right.
talk about self-inflicted stepping on your penis.
Yeah.
Oh, that
We
was so
got Black
stupid.
Flag. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I was
Now,
in.
let's go. I don't think that could somebody could be offended by that. Let's go with Tales of the Valiant, like Prince Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
Wait a
can't
minute,
say
why is
Prince
Black
Valiant
Flag offensive?
because
Well, that's what we're all
everybody
wondering.
finds something offensive. Just
Right.
saying,
Because maybe
there
you'll be
had to be
prejudiced
some
against
reason
the
why
flag.
can't
I don't
have
know.
that.
I don't know
Let's
either.
let's go with Tales of the Valiant.
Right.
Oh my God! Besides which, are any 5e players running to Tales of the Valiant?
No, and how many times did you skip that comic in the funny papers? Anyways, you just skip because it was so
Skip it.
boring.
I didn't even. I pretended it didn't even exist.
Right,
It was just like
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but it was
Prince
bad.
Valiant. What does that mean?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Any of the serials back then, I did not read. It had to be something that was like just like funny and stupid.
I did want to say Jeff Witty Art says side-based initiative. So it's not side-based initiative that I'm talking about at all. It's individual initiative, and
Right.
it's based on like clockwise rotation, right? So the monsters are going to go whenever I come up. So if Tim is sitting on one side of me or the other side of me, it will determine a lot when Tim runs into the monster. So if Tim runs into the monster and then the monster goes immediately after Tim versus Tim going and then everybody else goes and then the monster, like, so the rotation, I've just been using the sequence in on Roll20.
Yeah, because
Down at the bottom, right?
that's
Whatever
the
it is.
traditional ShadowDark way to do
Yeah,
it.
but ShadowDark is supposed to be clockwise, like
Right.
I said, it's like Duck Duck Goose, like
Yeah,
just go around.
do you use maps and minis or maps and tokens,
Mhm.
Greg?
Oh yeah. I use dynamic lighting for this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, all the way back to my AD&Ds. I would do what I call a round robin technique, and I just go around to the players periodically and say, move your miniature wherever, show me what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that way they just can't hang in the back. They have to tell me what to do. And sometimes though, somebody like Ken would say, I just stand there and look around, and then they'll only move their prog when the rest of the party moves to another area. But
Eric does that on VTTs. He'll wait until the party is 2 or 3 rooms ahead before he moves his.
It's like, because in my mind, I'm with everybody.
But see,
I'm
Eric,
Peter the
I
Mind.
kid because I love, but that cannot happen in this system, right? Because you would have to be moving independently. You can't just be like, I'm going to follow the guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, it creates that dynamism, and it resolves really fast.
yeah, I mean, if you use maps and minis and you're doing round robin, that naturally falls out because Eric is sitting there. I don't know what you do behind your screen, Eric, but
Oh,
not safe
geez.
for YouTube.
but
Not safe
whatever he does,
My heart
it does wind up with somebody like
After hours with Rob.
in 2 or 3 rooms away, and they're like, you see a couple orcs approaching you. What do you do? Wait a minute, where's the rest of the party? I've been trying to get your attention for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah. So Rob, how do we evolve beyond reach arounds, and then I don't know what you're assuming I'm doing behind the screen, but
I didn't apply anything, Eric.
you did not. Yeah, you did not. That's okay,
No.
Rob. That's okay, Rob. I understand. Don't worry about it. We're all good. That's why we're friends. Because if you can't bust balls or other parts, where are we?
other parts. Whoa.
Erudite has a comment, by the way. This is
Does.
the real beauty of the way this initiative method works is that we don't have to stop and do it. when we encounter a combat situation. It makes combat faster and smoother.
I
Yeah.
thought we did roll for initiative when we entered a combat.
No.
Well,
No.
what gets jacked around because you have to roll your initiative.
Sometimes I roll to figure out if it's high, if it was high or low. That was
Right.
it. It was like
Gotcha.
if you walked around the corner and the spider was like 5 feet away,
Right.
then
Like
it
I
wouldn't
did.
make sense for everybody else in the party to be able to go before the spider. So I would roll and be like, okay, you surprised the spider essentially, and so you have some time. But all it was fitting them into the established
existing
order. It
order,
wasn't
yeah.
making a new thing for them. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's right.
Okay.
But yeah,
I don't
it
know.
worked. It
I
worked.
just roll initiative every time combat ensues. And
I know, Rob, and that's why you're wrong. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah, folks. By the way, I told you we would get to that point.
I mean, you're not an innovator like me rolling initiative at the end of combat, right? I mean,
well, I would say you're not
would've
innovative
thought?
enough
Who would've
because I have the players and the monsters roll initiative every round. So combat under my system is far more dynamic.
Yep, and much slower.
Yes. This is like point.
I doubt that,
Point.
Greg.
Come on. Yeah, it's like I want to like drop the flag and let them go. Have at it.
Right.
I am a little feisty tonight. I'll go whatever the subject is.
Well, Shellback likes and I'm sure Rob has a comment on this one. The initiative system, these 12 segment setup from Hero.
Oh yeah, yep. Starfleet battles for fantasy games.
Yeah, I had the Champions First Edition box set, and that's my only delve into the Hero system, and it was enough. It was more buckets of D6s than Tunnels and Trolls.
It's a lot.
And I was just like,
But it played relatively. It wasn't slow like GURPS. That was for sure.
okay.
No, what it meant it was that characters had you have 12-second combat round. And that's a segment was a second, but you don't move every segment. Instead, your character had an attribute called speed. So if you have a 5 speed, you move 5 times during that 12 segment. If you have a 3 speed, you move 3 times during that. And normal human level character would have anywhere between 2 and 5 speed. And so what it meant is that people of different speed moved at different times. So it wasn't quite like having rolling initiative every round, but not everybody went off at the same time. And so it made combat very dynamic.
I have forgotten more about various RPG systems than the knowledge that Rob retains by a magnitude. Okay.
Who was Tom Bombadil? You don't know. He's
Erudite throwing the bomb in here.
He's just antagonizing now, Rob.
he was Aru
you're gonna do.
Alabatar in physical form. That was what the form he took upon in Middle Earth.
I thought he was a pimp.
No. That's Frank Metzner.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was unnecessary.
That's I don't want to. I'm not going to follow up on that one. I'll get in trouble.
Like whenever I hear the name Tom Bombadil, I think of Kramer in the pimp outfit. Like that's how he like comes up in my head.
Gotcha.
I can see that. I mean, he was cut from the movies, right? He wasn't.
Thank God. Yeah.
So John, my initiative. One other thing about my initiative system that, in addition to the Dex bonus, first of all, I do individual initiative. I re-roll every round. You get your Dex bonus, but fighters also get their 2 hit bonus. So on average, fighters get to go first, nearly always, or high hit dice monsters. And I like it because it feels more like my experience in LARPs. And
did you see that? He snuck it in there.
Bingo card. I was waiting for that on my bingo card. Everybody go around, high fives. We got the LARP.
Wow, you could really see the internet lag on that too.
Yeah,
There
no.
was a 2-second pause from my perspective before you all went, "Oh, he said it."
And we weren't expecting it. It came
Yeah.
from left field. It's like,
Well,
oh,
there's actually there's a movie. I'm totally blanking on the name of it right now, where it has the guy from who was Stifler in American Pie. That's what I always think of him as, and Paul Rudd. And they get in trouble with the law, and they have to do like a Big Brother program, and they have one of the kids is a LARPer, and they go to the law. I forget the name of the damn movie, but I used the pictures of the Minotaur truck in the Scarlet Minotaur video, and they had it's like Minotaur, taste the beast as as the slogan. So I put that in. I might throw that out a little bit when we're playing Scarlet Minotaur. Just be like, Minotaur comes around the corner. He yells out, "Taste the beast!" And he comes at you. Oh, it was great. Good times.
you're killing.
That's my favorite movie about LARPers.
Oh, I never seen that one. I don't think.
No.
I'll
There
Google
another?
it.
What was the one with the short guy from Game of Thrones? Wasn't that another
Role Models is the name of the movie that I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Role Models.
I know which one. I've seen that one, Eric. The one with Peter Dinklage or something like that. I don't. I saw it, but it's been so long. I don't remember.
I saw it, and I must have made a point of forgetting all the details.
Right.
Because I can remember nothing else except for him like this, and then that's all I
Right.
that's all I remember, and that's maybe a good thing. Oh God. So
Well, I actually do agree with John Miller and with Rob at the end of the day about it does make it more, I don't know if accurate, dynamic is the word, but like it makes sense that some people are going to go faster than others. There are going to be things to model like that. There's always like, you can always gain granularity by adding some additional rule. The question is, will it improve the actual fun at the table?
Right.
And my big thing with a lot of the ShadowDark stuff is maybe you will track encumbrance perfectly. Maybe you will track your light sources perfectly. Maybe you will track all this stuff exactly the way it should be. But maybe you won't. Maybe you'll forget to be calculating how much stuff how long this torch has been lit and who's turned it. Over time, these things kind of drag people down, and they get worn away by it. Having these simple systems, even if they might not be realistic in that sense, they're functional, right? How much shit were you carrying in Joe's game, Eric? Were you under encumbrance? Were you always having a light source?
I had the bag of holding.
Yeah, well, those kind of things. Like,
I just stopped tracking encumbrance unless it was obviously overburdened. Like if you found 100 pounds of silver coins, then you're encumbered.
you never gave me 100 pounds of silver coin, Rob.
I know. I never
feel
did
cheated.
But you did find.
Who are you giving this money to, Rob? It wasn't me.
You did find valuable tapestry stuff that you guys left behind because they were too heavy to carry.
That's a valid point. Man, that's there could be a whole video on tracking resources, yay and nay.
Yeah. I mean, even though ShadowDark has a simple system, I don't know how many people still. I mean, like in our group, how many really actually keep it accurately? Because we tend to make lists of treasure and we call it the party treasure, but we never assign it to anybody.
That's right.
Still, even with the simplified systems, because I like the idea of it, but I know when I ran my ShadowDark campaign, did I track it too much? Only in the case where Rob was talking about, if it just seemed like it was a ridiculously heavy thing, they'd have to figure out a way to bring it. But otherwise, it was just sort of like, okay.
It also makes it so even if you do cheat it a little bit, let's say, you're not cheating it to carry 3 great swords around.
Right.
You're not cheating it to be walking around with 5 sets of chainmail in your pack. That it limits that at least.
I always ask Joe, how many oil flasks do you have in your backpack?
Yeah, if it's under 6, I don't really care. But if they want to carry a dozen or more oil flask, then they're going to be encumbered. And if they're going to argue with me, tally your weight.
Oh, is that when you get the substitute teacher or on tally your weight? Show me the math.
Yep, show me the math. If you're going to goddamn make a point about it.
No, the reason why I want to know Joe's how many number of oil flasks are in his backpack is when the goblin shoots him behind with a flaming arrow. I want to know how big the mushroom cloud's going to be.
Well, in that game that Erudite ran where I was the paladin, I had an 18 strength, so I could carry so much shit. And I realized there's like a little bit of an exploit in ShadowDark that you can buy caltrops for incredibly cheap relative to other things, and then it's only one gear. So I was rocking like 6 bags of caltrops at one point, and when we would go, I would just start throwing them out. I'd be like, now I've got enough weight to carry other stuff, and just start chucking caltrops everywhere because they're like 5 silver a piece or some shit like that. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
All right, Shellback has a comment. If you're not going to track food, water, or torches, then why track treasure, spell slots, or HP?
I agree.
Because they're significant. I track food and water when it's significant. Like if they're traveling in the middle of Northport, the Duchy of Northport, where villages are spaced 10 miles apart, i.e. a half a day's walk, it's kind of pointless. But if they go over the West Wall into the Southland, the Forsaken Plain, the Forsaken desert, then I'm going to ask them, how many man-days of food are you going to be carrying? Then I have them track it.
Yes,
I just don't have them track it. I base it on the circumstances of the party. And if they're about to put themselves into circumstances where that stuff matters before they kick off from that last village, I say, do you have enough supplies to do what you want to do?
But how many days can I stay in that town where you're not asking me where I'm getting food from?
Well, if you're
walking
around with only 5 silver pennies to your name, then I'm going to ask you how you pay for the next meal.
So if I have 1,000 silver pennies in my pocket, you're not going to ask me. But if
Not
I have
really.
5, you will. That sounds like some crazy authoritarian stuff there, Rob. What are you talking about? You trying to steal my money?
Rob's trying to figure out how to reply to that one.
No, I'm trying to figure out whether
Schrodinger's
that link
point.
I shared is going to be useful for John Miller or not.
I know, but my point is that if you're tracking it incoherently like that, it's going to create, but where all of a sudden I've gone for 12 weeks, I've never paid for a meal. And then as soon as I leave the town, now I have to start having food in my backpack. Right. What? And then that's.
Well, I'm sorry. Then don't you? If you feel butthurt about it, then don't go into the desert.
Well, and that's
you're talking to the guy who wrote Shadow's, man. I get it.
And I'm assuming you're not playing. You're not playing yourself. You're playing the asshole player, and that's what I would tell the asshole player.
I don't recall you making Joe track his expenditures.
Well, listen. Honestly, back in my AD&D days, I think I had the same iron rations and water skins on my character sheet from first to
That's right. I know.
I mean, I don't think they ever got replaced, used. I was never told to track them off unless you threw them to distract the monster as you took off. That was an example they gave in the books, right? Throw rations as you flee to distract.
Right.
That's what we use them for. Otherwise they were, I don't know, tchotchkes on your character sheet, along with the, the flint and the tinder, the flint and steel. you know, your
that reminds
bedroll.
me. My dog unpacked my wife's bag for her because she had left a little bag of Reese's cups at the bottom.
Oh
And
no.
so he's a little 10-pound guy, and he pulled every little thing out of that bag trying to get to those Reese's cups.
I can get it.
I gotcha. I'll get this for you.
He was very helpful.
Did he get the cups? That's the important part. Did he get there?
We have a picture that we took that we set up of him with his head stuck in the bag of Reese's cups, but he was foiled. We noticed what he was doing before he finished his job.
Not.
Hey, Greg, to answer John Miller's question about me allowing fighters with a number of attacks, or they can attack a number of hit dice equal to their level. What would you characterize your experience with that rule? How did you feel about it compared to the magic users at the party?
We rarely fought like a number where they were like a bunch of one hit die. At a certain point, like we just weren't going up against one hit die guys. So like
Right.
I might have been 6th level, but if I'm fighting 3rds and 4ths, I can't really stack it up a ton.
Right.
But if we got into a fight with like a mass melee, like Zakar,
Like on that boat,
yeah, he could have killed a fuck ton of people. Yeah, I mean, like he
Right.
was just chopping them up. But yeah, against like half his hit die or better. I mean, like it's not overpowered either. I guess would be another thing. Like it. I wasn't walking around just cleaving every single fucking guy on the battlefield. It was a selective utility in that sense.
If I recall, it was most of the time you could attack your main target and maybe one or two opponents on either side of them.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, except for like on that boat where we slaughtered the shit out of people. And I remember the thing I liked the most about that fight was that Joe kept using command illusions to make people jump out of the boat while we were at full speed. So they're like diving in. We're doing like 4 knots.
And they had armor on, so they were goners.
Yeah. Goodbye.
So John, the trick to the rule is that you don't have to list out hit points. If a player attacks somebody, you know the hit dice of everybody around them. So if they attack somebody and they say they're 6th level, they attack a 4 hit dice opponent. Now they can't attack their main target again, but if they had 2 1 hit dice hirelings next to them, you can say, you have another attack. You can attack that guy. Do you attack him? They say, yeah. Or they roll the D20, hit him. You can attack him again. He's still up. Yes, I attack him again. And then they go down. So that's how it works without bogging things down. But if there was nobody around the fighter or nobody within a 5-foot step of the fighter, then no, they just get the 1 attack against the 4 hit dice opponent, and you were done, and you just moved on to the next person in the initiative order. I liked it. In all the games I ran, it worked out pretty well.
No, I think it works out pretty good. I don't think it's overpowered.
No.
But the favorite by far is fighters getting their to hit bonus added to their initiative.
So Rob, how many pages of house rules did these additional rules take up?
23, perhaps.
4.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your font though?
Yeah.
Is it like a 3 font, Rob?
Oh God, no! It's like I make it a nice 9-point font.
Because I mean, like, what's funny with Joe is that, like, when you look at Joe and you look at his player's handbook, right? He talks about it, and it's like, I got it in the largest font because I'm going half blind with these old eyes. And yet, when it came to his house rules, it's like, oh, I got more house. I got to make it smaller and smaller.
Right, kept making it smaller so it fit under the 20 pages. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I got 2 more pages, but I'll shrink the font by 2, and they all fit.
It's still by the book.
Well, Eric, I know you know this. There's a module called Hot Springs Island, I think.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
and
a
it
setting,
uses
yeah.
the smallest font I've ever. It is so small. Like they have to be in like the 6 or lower point values. It's amazing, and I'm like, how is somebody checking this on actual print product? Like I can at least zoom in on my screen, but holy
Right.
shit!
Can you
that
share
was
the
small.
link to my Majestic Fantasy RPG? So yes, I know I'm shrilling my stuff, but if you want all my combat, it has my full combat system in there. So if people want to take a look for themselves, it's available on drive-through. And there's an earlier version that I gave that's free to download. It doesn't have all the latest combat rules, but yeah, the only the two things I didn't mention that I also add to combat is weapons have special abilities. They're not like maces get +1 to hit under certain conditions, like against oozes and stuff like that. Um, so it's not overly complicated. It's not like a feat or anything like that. It's just a, a short special benefit that makes sense for the weapon. And I have this and Greg really appreciates this rule. If you roll a nat 20, you get the roll again. If you roll another nat 20, you keep rolling until you stop rolling nat 20, and you up the damage each time. And the most I ever seen a player in the 15 years I've been using this rule was 4 times in a row. Greg managed to pull off a 3 in a row against his. That's the most perfect timing. He had, even though he only managed 3 in a row, it was the perfect timing in the campaign. He killed King Arthur's heir, basically.
And just if you were wondering, I was not the person who rolled 420s in a row.
No,
No.
Tim was not the one to vote.
I do that.
No, what the exploding critical rule does, folks, it swings combat to the more like how I ran things under GURPS. In GURPS, a highly skilled character wasn't likely to go down in a single blow because they can always easily defend themselves. So fights between highly skilled players will drag out, much like high hit points. Fights between high hit point fights between D&D fighters, but in GURPS there was always the chance a good blow would take them out, and that
One
in
shot.
in one shot, or enough to take them out that they were on what we call the death spiral, and that was it. And combat was going to be over a few rounds, and doing this critical roll restored that balance to my D&D game. And plus the fact I was using OD&D as a base, so my hit point totals aren't high to begin with.
This is what you need to be making your YouTube videos of, Rob. Rob's comparison of mechanical analysis between GURPS
Oh yeah.
and Hero and first edition D&D and second edition D&D and
Hardmaster.
Well,
Majestic.
don't use that as a title, though, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're limited to
I
100
think you should
characters.
use Pussy Skill that you like to use. Oh, Poussant. Sorry.
Poussant,
Yeah.
yes.
Sorry, I'm just reading it as American.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I remember with the GURPS thing, I think it was Dwayne. We were going to a con the next day, and he wanted to make this end boss guy, and so we spent probably about an hour trying to craft him so he wasn't too powerful, but still he was going to be tough. And I think the first character did a headshot, rolled a critical, killed him in one hit. And I'm like, well, that didn't go as well. That didn't go that well, but it was fun. They had fun with it. So
I had that happen to a Sith Lord in D20 Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
because D20 Star Wars had vitality points, which was just equal to your con, and then your hit points were, I guess.
Vitality is
points.
what killed you, and your regular hit points were rolled like any other
regular
D&D.
health points or whatever. And so if you rolled a crit, the damage would go to your health rather than to your
to your vitality rather than your health.
So somebody critted one of my Sith Lords and right out the gate, killed him,
wiped him out.
Boom. was like if Han Solo had just taken Vader out in Cloud City with that shot. Bam!
or like Obi-Wan got Darth Maul, but it happened in the first minute of
Yeah,
combat.
right away. Yeah, I was like, God damn.
Well,
All right, well, you got him.
that's how crits work, right? That adds that element to it for good or bad. You know, that's why I'm always a little nervous about using crits if the players can get
Oh, that's
critted.
right. Me and Eric go round and
Oh
round.
yes,
with
yes.
this.
Players can definitely get critted.
Right, because
Yeah.
your adversaries are meant to fall, right? They're meant to.
Maybe
Players
in
are
your
meant,
world. Maybe in your world, Eric.
PCs are meant to go from encounter to encounter,
In
right?
your world, Eric.
Statistically, the
Rob, if your PCs don't go to the next encounter, the session is over.
yeah.
In any
Yes.
world. In any
Yes.
world. In
Yeah.
any world.
Statistically, crit hits are more likely to fall on a player than on any particular monster because the monster's only present in that encounter, usually, maybe 2 or 3 encounters at most. And the players are there in every encounter. So
Right.
eventually somebody's going to crit them. And
What players do, and this is what happened in my GURPS campaign, where death is literally a die roll away, and not an insignificant chance either, is they learn the art of the basically they learn the art of the ambush. They learn to be smart. They don't let every time in a GURPS campaign something happen, if the players let something happen to them, that's when they get in trouble. They learn not to let things happen to them. They learn to be the instigator of making things happen to other people. And basically in combat, that like they will ambush, and they get an ambush, it was usually over for their opponent, no matter how tough I made them. And so that you learn to play smart.
an
Okay.
alternative interpretation could be Rob made his enemies too hard, so the players always had to ambush them, and they would go out of their way, almost like, say, in a second edition D&D game that I played in recently, where the only way to win was
not to play.
make a whole bunch of crazy magic spells to fuck up the battlefield, and then run around like Wild Weasel style. You know what I'm saying, Eric? You feel me?
I have no idea. The fact that we did it so well
Yeah.
says a lot about our mastery of the gameplay. I will say that. And the fact that you and I could work off each other as well as we did, improvising
Yes.
the battle plan as it went was pretty spectacular.
And if people think I'm exaggerating, Eric, how many gnolls do you think were on that battle map where we fought the gnolls?
Oh my god.
Dude,
50?
50, 60, 100.
Yeah.
I couldn't. They were all. Oh, and I was like, "How is this?"
There was no way to like sneak in because they weren't even in rooms. They were just they were within eyesight of each other.
So it's like, we should have been using battle system rules. Is what we should have been using.
Yes.
Break out the battle system. Ready? Let's go.
That wouldn't have helped us.
No, it wouldn't have. It was.
I have used battle system, and yeah, it would just made it worse, because then at least some of us had decently high ACs, and making Joe roll for each and every hit.
Well, we never fought them pretty much head on. We were always using
we were always using area of effect. I would make fog banks and darkness and this and that, and they would.
Yeah, I had to use shape. I had to give us a breather one time. I had to use shape stone to seal the dungeon entrance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, the thing is, these were all set. Everything with Joe was a set encounter. He does not believe in random encounters. So when you step into it, it is already been prepped for you. So, and yes, we outplayed the hand that we were dealt, and I was very happy we were able to do that.
Yeah, and our reward was not getting magic items, if I remember.
No, magic items. Yeah,
we got some like demonic magic items.
I got like
thought, or
32
something.
gold, I think.
I got to say, the treasure nade made no sense for the group. That the lack of it just didn't make any sense. I mean, it's like, okay, so all the opponents we're facing are literally as poor as we are.
Yes. 55 gnolls.
Did
They've got
anybody have
38
any magic
things.
item in this
Yes.
world?
Well, I never came across magical armor, but I mean, all right.
I had a magic dagger, and that was it. And I was a cleric, so
I had my staff. My staff
Didn't
is
help.
snake. My snake staff. My snaky staffy.
I want to mention one thing about GURPS. John Miller's been asking me conversation, and obviously, except for Tim, not all of you have experience with GURPS. But I will say, I want to answer something I can answer quickly here about GURPS NPCs and stuff like that. The trick with GURPS NPC is you do not use their point values. You just you develop a sense of what attributes to give them, what skill levels to give them, and you just write it down. Okay, whatever you think they ought to get them, and if you want to give them combat reflexes, just give them combat reflex, and that's the way. That way, making NPCs isn't a big burden uh, to be. And in some ways, in the last couple of GURPS campaign Tim and I ran, we were kind of applying the same principle to the PC because especially for social advantages and disadvantages, where things were so dynamic in our campaign, we didn't bother. If you're wealthy, you're wealthy. If you become poor, you become poor.
is this the campaign that had the fear of boats?
Fear of boats.
Is that now?
There was a
Somebody
campaign
talked
that
about how,
involved
like,
boats, but it wasn't.
I remember somebody telling a story in GURPS one time that like every character they had a fear of boats because they never had never any boats, so they would always just get the points for their character for having a phobia, but they would just never. There was never a boat.
Well, the general issue that you're hitting on is, that's a thing in GURPS.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have that thing in the book. If having a disadvantage isn't really a disadvantage, you don't get the points for it.
Right.
The problem that Tim and I'm not trying to speak for you, Tim, but the problem is that I experienced is that people played their characters in the GURPS the way they want to play them. They have this idea and they would take the disadvantages, but what they wrote on the sheet, the code of honor, the bad tempers, it just wasn't really how they wound up playing. It wasn't the fact they were being, munchkins and ignoring it. It's just they found a voice for their character, and it wasn't what they spent on day one. So we just said, okay, instead of making 100-point characters with 40 points of disadvantages, just make 140 points. And if you want to play a one-legged character, okay, maybe we'll give you some points for that because that's a real disadvantage. But you don't have to worry about it. Just role play your character the way you role play your character.
What if you started running all the personality stuff ad hoc? So basically, like if you role play that you're a psychotic anger management problem, then you get 10 points for being add to your build right there.
We've done that. What we did for a while, Greg, is we would run our characters for like 5, I think it was around 5 sessions. And then depending on how you started playing your character, because sometimes you don't know until you get into the game, then you could start assigning disadvantages to your character because now you know what you're going to play your character as for the situation. So we allowed a lot of flexibility for that. And even in the first couple sessions too, we'd allow you to switch skills around because if the skill didn't seem like it would fit your character anymore, now, if you want to take those 2 points you put into, I don't know, some science skill and you'd rather have it into another science skill.
Like natural philosophy?
Like Rob's go-to for everything, natural philosophy. Yes.
Yep.
And like John was talking about, it's weird because GURPS, like 2nd edition and even 3rd edition, it was so much simpler. It didn't really take us a long time to make stuff. It was when 4th edition hit that I kind of lost because they wanted you to start out with 250 points and then just like, and by one experience, it was funny. I got the game with Mr. GURPS, Doug Cole, and he had this
Oh, yeah.
space. He had this space setting. He did a lot of prep for it. He even had somebody do this. We got this transmission from a ship that was a distress signal, and he actually had somebody else do the distress signal, and he played for. It was a lot of fun. They had a lot, but everybody else into it they were hardcore GURPS guys, and then I'm playing in the group. I was square peg in the round hole kind of thing. And we're supposed to go check out this alien, somewhere the aliens went. So these guys are like laying on the ground. We're in this tunnel, and we know the aliens are around the corner, and they're laying on the ground, and they're getting all the bonuses for sighting in and kneeling down and everything. And then it was my turn. And then I'm like, it's just right down the cave, right, Doug? And he goes, yeah. So I said, okay, go walk over. And I had the old noob tube. I think people who knows what the noob tube is, if they played Call of Duty, it's just a grenade launcher. And I had a grenade launcher, and I was able to fire 3 grenades into the cave that they were in. And I said, I don't have to hit. I just need to be close. And I lobbed 3 grenades in there. And I said, how many are still alive? And he said, none. I say, okay, boys, get your dick out of the dirt. Let's move on. But they didn't like it. They didn't like the way I played because I didn't take advantage of all the fucking bonuses that they were trying to get by kneeling down and sighting in. And I'm just like, I can't think of them. For me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to.
And to be honest, I have trouble relating to GURPS players like that because when you dig into it, GURPS is a lot of common sense. I mean, that's why I like GURPS. If you know something works, how something works in life, the GURPS rules will back you up. And so even if you wound up winging it, you can go back, oh, I was kind of in the ballpark to begin with. Good. And so, when you're trying to squeeze out that -1 or +1 modifier, I don't know, it's just not. And even though Tim and I got away from actually using disadvantages as a character creation tool, the rules themselves were still useful in case you needed to know what the effects of paranoia would have been, because it was like of all of GURPS, it was well researched, well written, and it made and so it wasn't wasted rule. It just didn't really work with how the campaign flowed as far as the player characters go.
Right.
But that's exactly what I think the whole argument was earlier about time versus granularity. I mean, like how much detail do you want to get in there to resolve the thing? Because we're abstracting so much already, even the way it is right now. Like if a combat round, think of all the things that are being abstracted that are going on in that combat round, and you're only making one roll for kind of to figure out if you're able to get a hit on the guy as you're moving around and clanging and fighting and everything. It's crazy.
My goal, without putting a whole lot of burden on the player, without putting a whole lot of burden on the player, or telescoping combat so it dominates the session, which happens with GURPS. GURPS makes sense, yes, but the price of how it makes sense is if you get into combat, well, that's your next 2 hours or next hour.
Yeah.
However, my goal, my broad picture is I want you to feel like you're in the world having that adventure as your character. And I want you to have the situational aware, as close as I can approximate it, either face to face or with the VTT. I want to approximate your situational awareness. I want you to make the same decision, not so much at the nitty gritty of which sword blow you're going to use, but your overall strategic and tactics. And that's my goal. And all those rules I listed for my OD&D combat, my Majestic Fantasy rule, even though I was comparing to GURP, the whole reason I like using GURPS is because anytime I did a LARP, anytime I did a reenactment, all my sports and football experience, GURPS aligned with all that. For a game, it aligned pretty damn well. And then I was able to, because understood OD&D, D&D to better the second time around, I was able to make OD&D align better with that without turning it into GURP. Thank God, because I like the fact that I can get 3 or 4 combats in a session, in a 4-hour session with OD&D.
Well, I got to say, this was really something we could have used the bingo cards for, because we covered everything. We had LARP, we had multiple GURPS, we had Hero, we had Harn mentioned. I mean, it would have been spot on.
Harn was just name check, so I don't think that.
Yeah, so was, well, yeah.
I could extol the wonder that it's a Harn injury system, but
Oh,
I've got an idea for you, Rob. So you get your YouTube channel.
okay.
You're sitting there, and the chair that you're in spins around, right? So you take your camera, and you get like one clip of you just doing a full rotation, and then for each individual video, you stop at some point, and then you have the camera drift down to the book that you're going to talk about in the video. So each time it feels like it's being chosen from like a turntable of RPGs, right?
Well, you know, Greg, you know, this
Inside
chair,
Rob's
this chair,
turnstile,
you know, has a nice special feature in that
Uh-oh.
it has a footrest. I saw these and it was a reasonable price, and yeah, so I really like it. I can just pop this, lean back, put up the feet, watch my Netflix on it.
all right, folks. Screenshot. Hold on. Hold on.
Nope, no screenshot.
Take the
Gotta be
screenshot of
faster
the
than that.
thing, blow it up. You know
I'm
what?
100
You know what?
pounds lighter, Eric. I can
Put
move
it.
now.
Put it on a mug. Put it on a
Put it
mug.
on a mug.
That's what you want. That's your Bat in the Attic mug, right there.
Make sure you use some of that fill for the background.
Oh my God. We hope you have enjoyed this hex crawl of ours today.
Come on, Eric. We still have
I was
fun
going to
with
use
that.
this one, Eric.
Which one?
Oh,
Let me see if I got it loaded here.
you
Turn
and
off
Joe
the
make
camera.
me see that.
Okay.
I screen capped this the other day. It was pretty good.
On
Better not
that
fucking
note,
the come to ShireCon, Greg. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Because you know what that pictures imply? That means you got that picture months ago and you stored it on your hard drive.
That's correct.
You
Yes.
knew where it was on your hard drive, and you could pull it out just to embarrass me. You son of a bitch.
there you go.
I have a Matt Jackson one. I have an Eric Tenkar one. I've got them all except Tim.
Do you have a Tim Shorts one?
He's working on it.
I'm waiting.
Waiting for me to do something.
Oh God.
Goofy, I guess.
I'm waiting. I mean, like here's the Matt Jackson one with the hammer.
Oh,
right.
let's do this
All
one.
right, I fixed it. It only gives you. You'll only have a certain number of these things you can flip to. Yeah. See.
There you go.
Oh, that's an old one now.
Yeah,
Right?
but
That's
folks,
pretty
we're
good.
not going to be back for 3
I kept
weeks.
it for a long time.
Next week is Halloween. It's the 5th Friday, so there's no live stream scheduled.
No.
So we will be back in 3 weeks. In 2 weeks, me and Glenn, probably Don Samora. Tomorrow night, Rach and I, Gamers Health. Maybe on Sunday, I'll do an AMA. I got some memberships to give away, so we'll just do that. And other than that, thank you to Greg, Rob, Tim, and those that didn't show up. We don't even make fun of Matt anymore. Matt, I don't even know. He's off the list.
He's off the list.
He's off the list. All right, folks. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys were great in the chat. Appreciate all the input. Oh my God. Oh.